All right, starting in five, four, three, two. Welcome to another exciting episode of Masked or Not with our wonderful heroes, Wilda, the Water Being,
Well, we're in hell now, and not Michigan.
Transient, the Matter Manipulator,
I can't manipulate matter here. What the hell?
Dahlia, the Living Dead Girl,
Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house. We're here.
Rowan, the Living Glass,
In Valhalla, surrounded by Valkyries. I could think of worse places.
Jace, the Technomancer,
Officer, Veloez vos de placer.
and Spencer, the Super Cat.
According to Hammurabi's code, I get anything I want from Himmel. I want his left eye.
What?
Pegasus?
Oh my lord.
Spence, you can always ask for, I don't know, pancakes.
He took something from me.
No,
yeah,
keep
but he's got
talking.
pancakes.
No, hang on. He's on to something, says Jules.
Last time on Master Not. Sorry, guys. Last time on Master Not, Wilda invoked the law of hospitality and was pulled down alongside a slowly catified transient into Niflheim while telling Dahlia to head to her grandmother's home. Rowan themselves chose to invoke the same law with the Valkyries. Meanwhile, Jules and Spencers and those inside the Impala managed to avoid an odd car crash teeming with police. Will our heroes learn in their moment apart? Now, what will our heroes learn in their moment apart? And will they be able to reconvene? Find out today. We'll start with Jules and Jace, Jules and Spencer. You guys managed to avoid that five-car pileup, and you watched as Jules, uh, speeding through, managed to reshuffle all the police officers to one side as the convoy of four trucks with the yellow cabs, all start pull right by. Just as you start running alongside it with
The
the Impala
worst
in hand, Spencer.
Alrighty.
You do hear some talking happening in the cab of the Impala, but with how loud the vehicles are next to you, they do kind of muddle out. The last thing you were able to fully pick up is the notion of a relocation, but where exactly it's kind of hard to hear.
A relocation of what?
That's what you know, but you don't know what they're discussing about inside.
Alright.
The road stretches on before you as you guys continue to run alongside each other and make your way towards the outskirts of the town of Battle Creek, trying to reconvene with Darren and I remember
Relic.
his name. Thank
Relic.
you, and Relic, who are currently still inside the battle jeep. You guys pull over to try to grab them? Do you send out a message? You're just gonna let them continue vibing as they watch Caravan kind of go by the wayside, only to pick up that it's you guys once they see Spencer running with the Impala in hand.
I imagine I'm hanging off the back of the last truck, where they have the thing so you can climb up the side.
Yeah.
Isn't
I'm hanging
Relic
off of
unconscious?
that, and as we start to approach where they're at, I'll take off the Destro mask and wave.
Uh, as you wave at them, there is a moment where I need to see if they even see you from their position. 1 second, as I roll Darren's perception.
Yeah, Relic's unconscious.
You know what I've realized?
Yes.
The only difference between Destro's mask and Doctor Doom's mask is that one's steampunk and one's cyberpunk.
Oh, that's cool.
Perhaps.
All right, what is your perception? Oh, it's a +3. So, just as you're driving right by, you see a head with a hat on to look back and then do a double take, give a short wave, and then upon seeing Spencer run by, start backing out with the Humvee and start attempting to catch up and follow suit.
Sounds good to me.
As you guys are now driving in your proper convoy alongside each other, uh, Jules, you note that the Impala is currently being held in hand by Spencer. And while you're pondering about it, you do recall in Jace's memory that a certain someone normally doesn't want anyone touching the Impala. You act on that.
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Uh, Jules does see in Jace's memories that Rowan normally does not allow people to touch her Impala at all. She normally drives, but the Impala is currently being carried by Spencer, who's running on foot. Do you want to interact at all?
I mean, the only way I could fix that is if I chose to drive the Impala, and I ain't fucking touching that car.
Fair enough. You guys do continue going down the highway, approaching the edge of Battle Creek, as well as getting ready to start your main plot out of Michigan. As you are hitting that certain area, you do hear the radio perk up from inside the Impala. A certain somebody with bardic intentions, seeming to be tired of the loud noises and wanting some form of music.
Is this drivel all that's here? God, this timeline is so boring.
That voice does come out a bit more clearer than the conversation that was being quietly had, Spencer. You wish to interact on that?
That there is someone saying that there needs to be better music.
Yes.
I am going to think for a moment, think very, very hard. And then I am going to speak up and say, you might want to press the 2 button. Sometimes good stations are on there.
But none of these are in Roman numerals.
I don't know what Ramen numerals have to do with this, but you just stay tight. We'll get you there soon.
Jace is going to use his powers to activate the second button from here. Or rather, Jules is.
Jules, you send like a little tiny flying drone to go in, observe the console that's being messed with, as you see 3 awake bodies inside the cupboard and 1 unconscious body. Uh, it appears Rowan is in the passenger seat, unable to tell that this is her vehicle, as she's trying to twist the knobs continuously, trying to find something to listen to. Your little drone operates with like tiny kind of pincer hands and is able to like press the number 2 after turning the system on and allowing the rock station to kick back on, as we'll just say him is playing with Wings of the Butter. Does Wings of the Butterfly play back in 2006?
2002.
Right, sorry, 2002. No, that's in
In 6 years
2005.
IRL, not in game.
Thank you for double checking. Thank you. First formed in 1991. Okay, so him is currently out. Uh, Trying to find an exact song to play is a wee bit underwhelming, but it does look like him is playing. Yeah, him is playing currently on your radio station, being vocalized out by one Bam Margera. But that detail is only moot. As your droid turns around to head out, you do see the unconscious form of Dahlia currently uh, seated in between, no, seated to the far left side, while Transient and Wilda seem to be having a conversation. You pick up on the piece of conversation as they are discussing about how their personal connections with the souls of the body seems to be moving deeper into a different section of the spirit realm.
However, Hati is then gonna look at the drone suddenly and say, ah, and it's gonna be in a deeper voice than Wilda would use and say, ah, you, we need to talk. As the clothing that Wilda wears is very ill-fitting. And
To
this
me or the other
Wilda,
one?
and this, and keep in mind, this Wilda looks older.
Did you need to talk to me or the other one?
Both.
That's not really how it works, but I'm listening now.
I need to make a deal with you. She's going to need a pack.
No offense intended. I'm sure you have good intentions, and you don't strike me as one of the historically mischievous ones, but I have never heard a single more suspect sentence than a folklore creature going, "We need a pact."
No. No, with a T, with a K.
Like a wolf pack.
Oh, okay, that makes a little more sense.
No, that was also
Sorry,
a character.
That sounded extremely suspect. I'm sorry.
No, I understand. No, she needs a wolf pack with a K.
Listen, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. The other guy is totally on board with that. These people are basically the only family he's really got because his real family sucks ass. And I go where he goes. So the drone gives a little thumbs up with the pincer.
But what if you could walk while he walks? Figuratively saying.
Thank you for the clarification. That would be extremely helpful. It would be much easier for me to deal with the pests that seem to highly populate Pyragol while he's trying to be normal.
Normal's overrated.
However, for that, there is a slight caveat.
Of course, there always is.
Canine or feline?
I feel like feline's covered by Spence.
Well, and
What?
thumbs a finger over to Truth.
Oh, you're extremely disconcerting to see here.
You do note a much more. Would it be regal or would it be more primordial vibe coming from Truth in Transient's body? Transient.
You can try wizened old man. So regal would be the word that you would use, yes.
There is a much more regal vibe coming off of Transient as he seems to be sitting more upwards and appropriate in a more caring manner. Truth does. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, he's not wrong, unfortunately. That one soul just did not digest correctly.
Unfortunately, I
Well-
don't think they make medication for soul indigestion. My apologies.
No worries. But indeed, we do need to talk with you and your little group.
Well, whenever the others are they tripping balls on peyote again? Is that what's happening?
Unfortunately not. Hati,
Oh,
this
that's
is more
weird.
your show than mine.
No, they were ripped out of their bodies. The only reason why
Go away and murk
this-
some of Himmel's guys for 2 minutes.
Can I hear any of this, DM?
Yes,
Yes, you do.
all of this.
You hear it in reverb because it's coming out of the drone and it's also coming out of Jules.
You
a little bit
see,
more-
as we're still running, you hear from underneath the car. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but it sure sounds important. Should I either go slower or something?
Well, I guess it depends. Are any of your mortal shells hungry?
You say hungry. You see. You feel the car go a lot more steady as he goes. I'm always hungry. Of course, I'm ready for food.
Hello?
Hello.
Are you? Hello, everyone. So, Spencer, would you
Did
say
you hear
that
what I
you would
said?
be
Yes,
I heard
I was
it.
ready for food.
when you stabilize the car? Are you just running slower, or did you switch over to multicats? Would it be copycats?
Multicats.
Right. You switch. You switch. Do you switch over to multicat in order to make multiple of yourself so you can hop into the cab?
Yes, I
Or let's
do.
be-
I hop into the cab.
So you hop into the unoccupied driver's seat. Everyone sees a new arrival inside the car as the conversation does continue. I would say at this point, Hati would bring up how the other U's are mm, currently split amongst themselves into different paths of the spiritual realm.
Oh, so do you need me to go after them, or
I feel Truth would actually say no, if only. Oh, go ahead.
There's no need right now. Three have invoked hospitality, and one is visiting her grandmother.
Well,
Which
it's nice to
also
see your
involves
grandmother again.
hospitality.
what was that?
I mean, which it also involves hospitality because I mean, like like she's a guest.
Oh yeah. But Spencer's gonna think for a moment, and he's gonna go, "All right. Well, we're just going back home right now, aren't we?"
Yes, the sooner the better. If I encounter one more fucking random were creature or Sasquatch, or if that Jersey Devil finally shows his fucking face, I'm going to lose my mind.
Daryl says that devil owes me money.
I'm just imagining Daryl walking into the Pine Barrens with a shotgun, just, where are you, devil? You owe me $5.
You owe me 20 for when I bought you a beer, and you never paid me back.
You said you were just gonna get a beer, and then you also got nachos, and you racked up a fucking bill and left.
I didn't know you were gonna order a whole tank of beer.
Wow, he really likes talking to himself, doesn't he?
No, he might be onto something. I love the idea that the Jersey Devil is the one real cryptid and the rest are all Himmel's productions.
Yes.
Daryl casually knows an actual cryptid, and that's why he's like, I ain't bothered by these. Blows a werewolf in half.
That would be definitely in character for him.
So it seems like we need to go back home, right, DM?
Yes.
All right.
The agreed idea is to return home while the rest are trying to find their way back to the bodies in the spirit realm. Truth would divulge that along with the idea that it seems that there's more to learn on the other side where they're at right now.
I have a request for one of the multicats because I can help get the trucks back there faster without having to risk giving everybody concussions from the whiplash. But it will require me being awake a lot, and unfortunately, as much as I don't sleep already, I don't think my other half can handle that. So I will need a lot of caffeine.
Okay. Good thing I've got this $20 bill he takes out of his pocket.
You are going to crash the economy. I just know it.
As every other Spencer underneath go, oh, so do we, and they all pull out a $20
Yep.
bill each.
Yep.
The same $20 that was haunting a particular sausage guy.
Recon businesses. They're all shut down. Counterfeiting. There's something going on. Anyways, let's see here. How many did you need?
I need a lot of caffeine.
Oh, I'm gonna send like
Jules is
Go
going to attempt to use his nanobots to try and overhaul all the trucks so that they can run more efficiently. But to do that, he has to keep producing nanomachines, and his metabolism isn't made for that right now, so he needs to tone it up.
I have an idea.
Fortunately, most of his heart's mechanical, so he doesn't have to worry about a heart attack right now.
Right now, you say.
Oh, yeah, that would be
Spencer should
Jason's
just-
problem.
You should just give some of the nanobots to Spencer, then have Spencer multicat again.
DM?
I'm afraid to see how that would actually work, but it would have to be fully claimed onto the original Spencer first and foremost. And Spencer had
You'd have to
already.
switch back to other Spencer, and I'd have to do a little drive-by on the hoverboard. We could probably try that. We could try replication. I feel like it would be extremely terrifying if I have a cicada cloud of nanobots, but yeah, that would probably do it.
I'm so glad I could help.
I love the idea that
No.
you're saying this in your sleep. Just devious Dahlia coming up with stuff in her sleep.
It's actually Black Betty who is saying this. She just wants to know what will happen.
Black Betty's just like, that's the power of nanomachines, sonny boy.
I just wanted to see what it would do.
I
And
thought this would be
Spencer's-
funny.
Spencer's going to say, well, I mean, you could do that, but I think I can make more clones. I just don't know how many I can make at one. I just don't know how many I can make without, causing a problem.
Just hop back out, switch back to you. We'll do it the safe way. We don't need you to have a heart attack.
I can't have a heart attack. Can I?
Let's not find out.
You haven't tried.
I think if my heart attacked, no one would survive.
Let's not find out, Spencer. Go ahead.
I'm going to go back under the car and dismiss the other Spencers. And by dismiss the other Spencers, I basically just tell them to go get some caffeine from the local Starbucks or whatever. Sorry. Coffee Lord.
DM, I am going to move back under the vehicle with the Spencer once the others return, drink like 6 cups of triple espresso, and then pour all my nanomachines onto Spencer's back before he clones himself again.
As you're imbibing all this caffeine, one of the Spencers does bring back an unfamiliar can. Looks like they just recently came out with this at the time. A can with 3 green stripes going down the center of it.
Hey, I know what that is.
Oh, these ingredients are fucked. This would definitely give the other me a heart attack. Thank God I'm not him right now. He drinks it.
Thank God I'm not that weak fuck anymore.
I have
Before they
evolved
altered,
beyond him.
back before they altered the recipe, you feel, Jules, you feel yourself able to like last another day.
I like to imagine there's like purple sparks coming out of his little glass eye lens. All right, Spencer,
All
start replicating, and I'm just like I said, I'm going to pour literally all of the nanomachines onto Spencer's back, all of them.
All right, DM. Here's a question for you. Do you need me to tell you how many clones I make, or do you just want me to go ham with it?
I would prefer you to tell me, but I understand going ham is essentially the equivalent. So you make at the very least a good 50 of you.
Oh, I was thinking a much higher number. Yeah, that works.
Like I said, at the least 50. Once more, depending on how far you go, you can technically go ham, but let's keep it out within the 3-digit mainframe, okay?
Okay. I'll make
Spencer,
99.
you fuck. Okay, just 99.
No, no. If you gave me the ability to go full ham, I'd make 200.
So there are now at least 3 large groups of Spencers. One carrying the Apollo underneath. The other ones are currently hopping around and into the Humvee to offer Darren a few caffeinated delights. Having to be told, no, don't give any to Tom Relic. He needs to sleep. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wait, why is there so many Spencers inside this vehicle? All of you sit in the back. One of you man the gun
Superpowers,
just in
man. We've
case.
been over this.
I'm
Maybe
still
Spencer-
trying to get used to these all damn cats in this damn tiny Humvee.
I want these snakes off my motherfucking plane, man.
While the rest of the other Spencers are currently hopping alongside of each of the convoys, some of them running as best as they can to reach the first one. But unfortunately, none
Look
of
at
them get
all
past the
them
second one.
chickens.
Look at all those chickens.
And as we hear Ro in the car go, look at all those chickens. We flicker back into the spirit realm. Rowan, you are escorted into this grand hall. You see a variety of warriors meeting, feasting, some of them still having personal bouts of fighting on the side in the section of the hall that seems to be prepared for training, quote unquote. You hear an excursion of fighting occurring on the outside of the hall from on the opposite end of where you entered. This hall is large, grandiose, and many of the Valkyries that are hovering above seem to look at you with a bit of concern, like, should you be here? But the 2 Valkyries that were walking, that escorted you here, send out like a high pitch vocalization that seems to only be understood by the Valkyries. It is here you hear the guttural laughter coming from a very large figure. And they mean to tell me that I can't go around having a good wee of fight. I'm already on the ground. Where's everyone else that's flying in them tin birds, I tells you? You can't be holding the armies in that kind of regard, my brother. It's a different time, a different space. This is the only time we actually come back to be ourselves. The Valkyries escort you closer to the conversation as you see 2 figures sitting at a table with a third figure uh, that seems to tower over both of them. The first figure, large and stout, has a hammer close to his side. He gives a guttural laugh at the response. Material army or not, they wouldn't hold a candle to any of us, no matter what kind of birds they fly. You mean to tell me that that should be something worrying? 'Tis not the birds you should be fearing, 'tis the eggs they drop. The other ones, the thinner, with a set of horns on a helmet that's placed off to the side, speaks in a bit of a regal tone. It seems they're having a conversation once more of war.
And modern warfare at that. Hang on, I need to make a roll real quick.
By all means, would this be a will check or a knowledge check?
No, this would be whether or not she keeps her composure or she starts laughing.
What are you rolling at? Ooh.
Slash R. No, it's not slash R. I can't remember anything. 1d20. She manages to keep from laughing.
Your wealth of history does kind of get tickled as you hear the conversation about metal birds and eggs that are more dangerous than the birds themselves. But you do find yourself being escorted up towards the table. The two Valkyries descend down. Loki, Thor, Odin, forgive the intrusion, but we have a live one here that seems to have been stuck inside the spirit realm. This calls for the rule of hospitality. What? You're bringing any stranger into the halls? And what goodness do you? Silence. The middle figure holds up a hand. You can see no, you can't see anything but the hand off the figure at the moment, cloaked in what seems to be a very regal dark cloak. The father. No, I want to hear it. Speak. What brings you to the halls of Valhalla? What brings you to Valhalla? The halls of the slain.
A tear in space and time.
Thor and Loki both kind of freeze up, and you see their shoulders like perch up a bit at the mention of a, a break in space and time. So the rumors are true. My sons were asking about that to their mother as well as I. Valhalla has not seen anything here. I've yet to hear anything back from Folkenver. I said that right, hang on. Folkvanger. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that. But that doesn't mean we haven't noticed any irregularities that have been occurring. Some of the warriors here are not even from here. Those lots are from a world that has already been destroyed. That lot over there were before the world was even formed. Yet I've never seen such armor. Pray tell, what do you know of these breaks?
I know that they've been occurring. We tried to stop them, but something went wrong. 3 of us were sent here.
3? Here in the halls of here in the halls of the slain.
I apologize, 4 of us were sent here. 1 is visiting their grandmother, and 2 have invoked the right of hospitality formally. I did mine a bit of an odd way. And are going to hell.
You mean that is strange plots filled with angels? Never really
With
cared
1
to
L.
know. That would be our dear Loki's daughter. My sister, my daughter, she allowed people to go down there with in rules of hospitality. What's going on in Niflheim?
Personally, I'm enjoying my time here. I can actually feel things again. But I know that we are needed in the material realm. Oh, and if you ever find yourself in the material realm, you should find me. I can bring you more up to speed on weapons of war that are harbored.
Curious lass, ain't she? But I do like me a woman that talks war. Right there, little birdie. What dangers have you come across that would make it worth our while? Am I going to be ignored about my daughter having visitors? I asked about these other three. You say one went to Volkvanger, the other two went to Niflheim. What are these two that you speak of?
One is an transmuter, some kind of wizard, I suppose, in the best way I can describe it, and the other is a combination between a shapeshifter and a werewolf.
I'm sorry, a shapeshifter and a werewolf. Wait, you
I
said the
don't
first
know
one
how
was
to
able to
describe it
transmute.
properly.
Father, I think it's one of the friends of that child of the Grecian family, the one whose celebration we attended. The one that was connected to truth, you said. Yes, but that would mean truth should have already been here.
Oh,
Are they not?
yes. Yeah, I'm relatively certain that in the absence of the soul of the transmuter, that individual is like known as truth is likely contained in his actual material body.
So the truth's been split on the arse. What's new? What's new is that we actually have more information to provide. I should go see the other guests here shortly. Before you go, Loki, new friend. What's your name?
Rowan,
Hmm. It's good to hear that there is some weight behind the worry. But if there's these breaks of time and space occurring, I'd like you to bring this word over to my wife. The Valkyries can guide you there. Consider this the final points of the law of hospitality.
I appreciate your hospitality, and my offer
Once,
does stand. I have been around since the myths that surround you were born. And she'll give a gentle bow as she drops that bomb and just kind of begins to walk away.
curious. My wife spoke about someone that eluded her. The ties on your back do seem of olden yore, of hue and of long grass, weaving together into rope. Upon your return, we'll help you return back to your body. But please, bring this word to my wife.
Of
Find out what
course.
is going on with Vanga, and we shall see you back here. Thor, would you mind opening the door? Yeah, that's hella. Trying to find the name of the guy who actually runs the Rainbow Bridge. Always forgets.
Heimdall?
Thank you.
Heimdall.
That's Heimdall's job, not me. Don't argue with me, boy. Come, young bird. We can just have a short discussion about these warfares that you do. What are the metal cattle that goes around spitting a hot fire?
Battle? I'm guessing you're referring to our light vehicles if you're referring to them of that size. That is
Nay,
a paltry offering compared to what we can actually bring to bear.
nay, I'm talking about the ones that walk. I do not walk but crawl. I would call them beetles, but I've never seen beetles with such horde and fire.
Ah,
Thank
so you have seen our modern tanks.
Can go through trenches of men with ease, but one solid egg and it turns into a bucket of death. Hilarious.
There is so much I could educate you on, but we should make haste.
Of course, of course. Over to the right wing here, and he leads you over with the Valkyries alongside over towards a separate hall that initially wasn't in your view firsthand. As you walk down this hall, the warring seems to get quieter from the outside. You see less warriors fighting alongside each other. You see a couple more Valkyries, more praying, sitting and waiting, watching a particular door in care. Oh, I see. Once we open the door, you should be able to find yourself in Volkvanger. These two ladies should be able to walk with you there. Do I need to remind you what my dear mother Freya looks like?
I am certain I am familiar.
Ah, that's good. Couldn't describe her better myself. Loki was always the artsy one. But he raises the hammer that he's had on his side and gives a slight knock at the front door. The two grand doors seem to start slowly opening. Be careful if you find anything strange on the other side. There's only so much help we can offer before it turns straight bloody.
I can handle my own.
The two doors parts large enough for you and the two Valkyries at your side to walk through. The wh- the scenery gives way to a large, almost relaxing field. More than just the lavenders, there seems to be different flowers from different ages, all surrounding you.
Which is particularly interesting for her. But stays on the straight and narrow. Oh wait, I'm guessing hashtags.
No, as you're leaving, you hear a very deep, familiar-ish voice. It's almost as though Trandy was speaking in a more regal tone. You know I can still hear you all. And that reverberates as the door closes behind you. Once more, you find yourself surrounded in the field of flowers, different varieties. And as you start moving forward, you do see different people resting. Some warriors, some families of warriors who seem to have lost something of theirs, but are at peace here. And as you continue walking, you do see different fields of flowers converging into one towards the very center. But an oddity does strike you as you see what seems to be different openings amongst the edges of the field.
Nope.
The Valkyries on either side of
Staying on the path, straight and narrow.
the Valkyries on either side of you do start to seem a bit worried and grow on edge.
Something a
You see
concern, ladies?
something's off here in Volkvanger. The peace seems to be scattered, not together, as though something is interrupting it. Sister, be wary and keep your eyes on your horizon. I has the same as you.
Also have Rowan keep an eye out.
Rowan, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Checked. One moment. Perception. What is my perception skill? It is a +5. Okay. Hero rolls. At 15, DM.
It's not obvious at first. You see different people who seem to have fought and have passed, others who seem to appear sickly but don't act sickly. Like for your vision, a couple of people seem to be horribly marred with uh, pustules and broken bones. Well, not broken bones, but like melted flesh. But they seem to move as though the flesh is still connected and seem to act and laugh as though they aren't in pain. But as you grow closer, you do catch something that does not seem to be part of this area. A metal vehicle seems to be r- rolling around in the very distance. One would call it about a few miles away, but very can be seen given the unique contour of this plane. This vehicle seems to be approaching a very lovely lady, but they do not seem to be treating her lovely. You
I'm
can
going to go
see
ahead and increase magnification using telescoping. Oh, wait, I don't have actual physical glass. Can I even do that?
you can use your soul's aspect, given that you are currently in your soul form, and your soul does seem to variance between being see-through and being kind of liquid, with different emblems that seem to swirl amongst your body to represent each of the different time periods you've existed in for your longevity.
Okay.
Uh, if you were to put a time frame for when you had your telescopic view, what would you say it would be?
More modern. Da Vinci.
All right, then an Italian symbol for Da Vinci does pop up, or Italian word for Da Vinci does pop up in its lettering, and it seems to become the border for your seeing eyeglass. You
So what
peer
am
into
I?
your
What am I
seeing.
seeing? I have a bad feeling I know, but what am I seeing?
You are definitely seeing what appears to be an earlier described metal cattle attempting to be hostile in this area, being confronted by Freya in the distance.
Just being attacked by a tank. I think we should go deal with this, but you guys are ill-equipped. Just make sure I don't get ambushed, and she's going to begin to sprint in that direction.
All right, it'll take you a couple of rounds. Let me make a few rolls for what is occurring here. How do you approach the situation,
I would need
if
to
I
know
may
the
ask?
position that they're both in.
So it seems that the tank it is doing some snake pass, going left and right, trying to find a way to outflank Freya. Freya herself seems to be able to stand tall. The bullets that come out are easily blocked by one of her shields, but the occasional how would I phrase this? The occasional heavy ammunition fired from the center gun seems to keep pushing her back, slowly breaking the shield on her. You know, you probably have maybe 3 shots before the shield breaks, from what you can tell, given the amounts of power that particular model can output.
Am I looking at an M1A1?
Yes,
Okay, I know exactly how I'm going to approach this.
those are also shorthand called Abrams, right?
Correct. The Freedom Van. All right. Yeah, that's actually really easy to solve considering what I can do. As I run up, I will give a quick trying to think. Freya, she wouldn't know what they are. Hang on, I'm trying to think of how Rowan would phrase this.
As you're pondering about that, we will say that they are growing closer together, together right as you're getting closer.
Uh,
You
this
feel you're go ahead.
Go ahead.
You feel you're about a mile away, given how fast you're trying to run. The spiritual realm seems to have a different variance in speed, so long as there's importance upon it. So long as you're moving your full motions, you don't seem to have to worry about exact distances.
Okay.
But at the same time, as you're growing closer, so too does the Abram growing closer to Freya. Her shield still seems to be holding up as she was able to dodge one of the other center shots. Shot seems to go far, and right before it hits anything, sinks into a IDB that seems to randomly appear and then close like a heart ventricle.
An IDB.
Interdimensional break,
Got it.
the same one that you guys almost
Yes,
fell
I
into.
didn't know that particular acronym. So this will be very, very simple. As I get close, I will yell to Freya, "The chain link wheels, break the links. I'll take care of the main gun." And I will proceed to become the strongest cork in existence.
All right.
Because the air pressure will prevent any rounds from being able to fire forward. It would just backblast into the crew.
Alrighty. Double checking one thing. All right. So as you do manage to pass Freya, she looks at you in surprise, but see that you're going after the metal tank. She hears your words. Let me roll to see if she understood them.
I mean, chains were a thing back then. Wheels were a thing back then. Put the two together, chain wheels break the links. Break the threads. Come on, man.
Oh yes, but once more, if you're from a different time period and someone just starts hitting you with freaking these nuts in 6'7", are you gonna understand the joke there?
Rowan probably would.
This bitch. So Freya does pick up on what exactly you're trying to hint at as she lobs her spear directly towards the left side of the Abram. Right as you get close, the spear strikes through, managing to not only ruin the tread, but seems to have caused caused enough shaking to knock the people who are supposed to be operating the guns, aside from the center one, out of their seats. The shooting does seem to calm down, but the center gun does start aiming towards her right as you hop on your see-through fashion. As soon as you cork it, go ahead and give me a toughness roll.
Okay. That's a 7. Also, after this, we should probably switch to somebody else. We've been on me like the whole time.
No worries. And that was going to be the plan here shortly.
1d20 plus 7. Ugh.
So you will be feeling in your soul this heavy pain. You will be taking a bruise for the short time. However, you've managed to be in just the right position and have caused enough sealing for when they attempted to fire the round down the metal gun. It is not able to escape, and the gases that normally would have propelled it forward cause the entire center to rupture and explode in and of itself.
This would just ruin the barrel with the as if there's an actual crew inside there. The lock safe would prevent it from actually killing anyone inside, but they are concussed.
Right, but exactly what happened. The barrel is now broken completely, while the whoever is inside this Abram seems to be completely shooken. And as you go to start opening the door of the side to see what was going on in there, the channel flips as Black Betty is sitting next to her granddaughter after letting her in. Oh man, wasn't that just a wonderful television program?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I didn't know they made that episode of The Addams Family.
I tell you, if Gomez was around, I'd be his Morticia.
Oh, Grandma, you always say that.
That's true. He was quite the looker. Oh, anyways, let's see what else is on as the screens do flip. And while every so often you'll see a normal program play, you'll also see certain events happening on the other side of different dimensions. In one section, you see a few soldiers coming up to each other, having a short discussion before the general comes up. They salute him, and on the screen, you hear a discussion about how they have found another one of these strange breaks in reality and are curious about sending another team in. The team that they had previously sent in was set in one of their strongest weapons, but they can only afford to send in the one tank. It's more of a scouting mission, if not anything else. The strange thing about this particular group, though, is that each of them seem to bear wings, bat-like wings with different insignias on their patches where their names are supposed to be at.
Hey, Grandma, that looks kind of important.
Oh, that's just happened to be one of the an episode from the Fire Down Under. They're always having spouts and bats, but I don't remember this particular episode. Still, I'm trying to find my personal favorite program, Prime City. As she clicks over and the scene continues to change, a few regular episodes occur before it flickers on to another strange scene. Ooh, another new episode. I haven't seen this one. This one being a view of Niflheim, as you see two familiar figures being escorted into a large, grandiose hall. But I'll catch up to that episode later. You finally
Grandma,
do. Oh, go ahead.
Grandma, I think this is important. I think you're getting too much reality TV in your TV.
You're right, dear. We should probably turn this off. Enjoy some quiet time. I'm sorry, I don't always have visitors here, and it's just easier to allow the television to show me what's going on. You know how it is.
Actually, Grandma, I was kind of hoping for some advice.
Oh, do tell, my dearie. What seems to be the problem?
Well, me and some of my friends, so we were doing something for the town, and then there's a rip, and he gave me this necklace, and then we tried to fix the rip, and things kind of broke, and we got sent here to the afterlife, but I don't think we actually died. I don't know if I can die.
Of
But
course, dearie, everyone dies. But your head still looks intact, so good chance you can go back. Now about that pendant, let me get a good look at that. Oh, you see her stare at the pendant for a couple of seconds as you were holding it. Can I hold it?
Um, you're the one who gave it to me. And if I can keep it around my neck, you can hold it.
Of course, dearie. So you lean forward with the necklace still on as you're showing it to her. She gently picks it up and looks at it. Curious. She pulls her own pendant out, and it's the exact same style, same lettering on it. Although the lettering does seem to be not English, not native to this world. I didn't think they'd be crazy enough to have one in every reality. You said I gave this to you from a different aspect.
Uh-huh. And you said I was the only the only Dahlia who was good.
I'm a woman of my word. Of course, you're the only one that's good. As she puts a hand on your head and gives it a little pat and ruffle.
Grandma, I'm saying that I think there's a lot of bad things that can come through the rifts. And I need to get my friends back. And we need to get back to the alive world so that we can stop more of these portals. Because I don't want an undead army of evil dahlias or the crazy not transient or any of this.
She perks up at hearing the evil, crazy, transient, non-transient. Wait, are you talking about that one fellow made of the shapes and symbols and with the red fellow walking around with him? The one that's able to turn items into other items, right?
Uh-huh.
Dearie me. There is one more episode I wanted to catch. She turns the television back on and then quickly flips through before it stops on a particular scene. N- Not my favorite episode, but definitely an episode I keep watching every once in a while. It does sound confusing at first until you get a better look, and it seems to be just a singular white dot in the middle of this dark screen. For a second, it feels like a regular episode, but as you blink, there seems to be everything seems to give way, and you're just standing in front of this white dot next to Betty. Dearie, do you know how how the existence came to be?
Well, I know what they tell us in school.
What do they tell you in school?
Some kind of big explosion.
Right. How do you think that big explosion occurs?
Um, I don't know.
Right as you say, I don't know, you feel like a hand seems to grip that white dot. And although you can't see the hand at all, and the white dot is not obscure, you see that white dot get squeezed tightly and tighter. Some theorize that the Big Bang seemed to have occurred after everything was gathered into one singular area, tight enough to where the energy just suddenly erupts. But most don't ask what caused the tighten in the first place. And the hand that's hard to see grips it tighter and tighter. And most people would be worried if they were found out that someone actually did cause this. But it shouldn't be about the hand that made the Big Bang that you should be worried about. And as she says that, everything starts exploding around you. Stars, dust, cosmic time, galaxies, worlds start erupting past you. It should be what didn't fly out that scares you. As you look back, the hand seems to open up, now slightly more visible, more like an outline of the galaxies itself before the hand itself fades, and centered in the very center, left in the very center of all this, of the screen, seems to be an egg. The egg cracks and ruptures out, seeming to spread into two different creatures. What most don't understand is that once everything was made, so too were concepts. First very concepts made was of creation and obliteration. At the word
Life and
creation,
death,
you
right? Because death was made at the same time life was.
oh, if only life wasn't even created just yet. I happened to stumble into the job later, way later. Keep watching the screen. You see these two creatures fully formed. The one that she had pointed out as creation seems to take on a winged form, being a large, fiery bird. But the fire isn't just orange, it's white, it's blue, it's green, it's this very intense array of colors that seem to constantly shift. This firebird roars in as it looks around, and with a single beat of its wings, cosmic winds were crafted. The silhouetted hand that seemed to have caused this whole thing to begin gives it a gentle pat on the back and sends it on its way as it picks a random flight path going forward. The other side, the one labeled obliteration, seems to claw towards the winds that were created. And with each waft that mm, puts its needle-like face against, it chomps, ceasing the cosmic wind from pushing any more of the debris and stardust around. It's almost harrowing that this lizard-like dinosaur creature with a very narrow needle-like beak seems to hurry after creation. Most people never ask where the concepts of creation and obliteration come from, much less everything else. Creation would go and create new concepts. I was born several millennia later, once they got to a different planet that had possibilities, not unlike ours. Unfortunately, that slithering son of a gun, obliteration, snuck up onto us too quickly. The world itself was destroyed, but the concepts were allowed to go elsewhere. But here's what I grow concerned. As though the scenery was starting to hit its episodic end, something about obliteration seems to pause. Obliteration seems to be staring at someone, a very human-like figure, one that, while not fully visible from where you're at, the back silhouette seems to harbor an intense sense of fear down your spine, Dahlia. Ooh, captured oblivion. If creation had settled on our planet and stopped for a long while, where did obliteration go? That was the question that lingered on me every time I watched this episode. More so, I could never tell if that was Adam, Eve, or someone completely different. As your eyes blink, you find yourself back in the same coffee area, same living room with your grandma. She turns the television off. Yeah, from there, I believe that's the start of the strangeness that occurred, but I still don't know about these breaks. Those happen to be a bit of a new one.
Okay. Well, if you don't know what it is, any idea who might?
A couple come to mind, and at the mention that as she says that, at the mention of a couple come to mind, you hear two separate knocks. A very gentle knock coming from the front door, and a very heavy, angry knock coming from the back door. Oh, dearie, seems that we have guests. Honey, would you be a dear and pick a door to go answer? I'll grab the other one. Oh, and don't forget the tea. It's always nice to greet a guest with with a cup of tea.
All right. Dolly is very protective of her grandmother, so she's going to go to the angry door to answer because she doesn't want her grandma to deal with someone mean. She does take the tea, and she is going to open the door and say, "No solicitors."
All I could imagine was
Dol-
Jesus Christ standing right there on the other side of the door.
Dahlia, you go to the back door where your grandma heads over to the front door. At the same time as the doors open, you tell the person on the other side, no solicitors. And this very gorgeous being, this very regal winged being, leers at you. Don't speak to me of selling items as though I'm a paltry door to door salesman. I came here with a legitimate issue. Now, pray tell, what soul stands before me before I can speak with Black Betty?
I'm her granddaughter, so
Yes.
maybe you should be hearing from me. Also, it's really rude you haven't even said if you want tea or not yet.
There's a long pause as this regal being, once somewhat standing bigger than the door frame, seems to shrink, shrinking his wings too. The broken halo above his head seems to rest on the top of it. The hair seems to shrink down to almost, instead of being long, flowing feet's length, now mere inches off the shoulder. I would enjoy some tea. Thank you.
Great, come on in. And she hands the figure a cup of tea and escorts them like a proper lady, like her grandma taught her, to the living room.
As you approach the living room with this very regal being behind you, you happen to hear soft laughter coming from the room as you see your grandma, Black Betty, enjoying a cup of tea with a very meager looking man. He's only dressed in rags and his beard is slightly unkempt, but there's a very peaceful aura that seems to come off him. And then when they have you hold on to your own cross to walk, they expect you to lift it 10 times. Expect you to lift it over your head about 10 inches. Now, I could barely get it off the ground, but we all got Vera crosses. Every time you tell that story, I swear it gets sillier and sillier. But thank you for coming here, Jesus. Now, what pray tell did you come over for? And, my wonderful Dahlia! Who happens to bring... Oh, it's you. Thank you for the wonderful welcome, Miss Betty. You approach the table. You give a seat over to this angel, and you take your seat. I came here with the utmost importance, and I was hoping to have a quick word with you. Hello, son of man. Hello, child of dad. That's not my name, nor was that mine. Both of you, please behave. You're in my house. You know the rules, and so do I. But enough of this or that. How about we get down
Is
to
that a
the
Never Gonna
nitty-gritty?
Give You Up reference?
Honey, they don't know that song. You can't just drop that there like it's something that's only for us to enjoy. I've heard it every time a new soul comes down there. It's infectious and annoying at the same time. So thank you for keeping it short. Now, if I may ask, what is going on in this multiverse? This, why is there holes opening up in my realm where my underlings can slip out from my control and do whatever they damn well please, like get forgiven by this? I have forgiven no one other than the children of God that needed it, and that those that believed in me. But that does bear the question in the same way I was coming down to ask. Unique holes have popped up along the host of heaven, and several of Dad's finest seem to have answered their siren calls, entering into them, going to different realms that we don't even have ways to get to. Different different heavens, one would say. Heavens they weren't supposed to be in. Do you know anything of this, Lady Betty? You know, I was just getting ready to start researching that. My dear daughter here, though, might have an answer or two. You see, all three heads look towards you, Dahlia.
No pressure. Doors have been opening, or not doors, ribs, sort of, and letting alternate versions of me and my friends. We tried closing one and it didn't work. Kind of went wrong. But
Believe me.
well, we're only human before you say anything. She glares at Lucifer. I'm assuming it's Lucifer.
Good call. As he groans, leave it the mortals to screw up a simple door closure. Now, they did what they could, but even
Well,
we seem to have issues with this.
well, it would help if we could get back to our bodies and try again, maybe with some help. Because we're just a bunch of kids and like an ancient, powerful glass lady who are doing our best.
Ancient, powerful Glassly. You talking about that Rowan character? She sold me her soul 5 different times. Each one I've not been able to collect.
Well, that. What is it they say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
Don't you dare
shame
finish
on
that.
me. Fool me 5 times, and I'm a stupid fucking idiot.
Woman! You see him pull out a flaming sword before 2 separate hands rest on his shoulder. You feel 2 different auras go off as one speaks sit and the other one speaks knock it off. The weight of those words seem to hold strong as the one you have acknowledged as Lucifer is forcefully sat in their chairs, and what you can only assume is practically bound to it. Ugh! You can't seal me here. Fine.
I gave you tea. You're supposed to calm down.
I need to mute myself. I'm laughing too hard.
Oh, if only the world's problems could only be solved with a cup of tea. So you and your friends tried to seal it up. What happened?
Well, Puddle kind of collapsed, and that made her boyfriend kind of freak out, and then it kind of spiraled out of control.
I see. So a ritual that was supposed to have gone did not fully go. It is no one's
Yeah,
fault.
it's just, she's been struggling. And none of us knows how to help.
Well, dearie, I wish I could offer better ideas,
Well,
but I
maybe you
do
could
have.
help us at least get back together?
Well, I mean, I'm sure I can help you get back to the physical realm. That much is for sure is assured. Your other friends are currently in places I dare not step foot into. It could break the accords that we all have.
Well, you were talking about just now, Mr. Christ, about how it was just a matter of closing doors. Could you open some doors for me? You don't have to walk through them. Just open them so I could, collect my friends.
I could definitely help you find a door that leads back to your body. I could definitely grant you resurrection there. I cannot help you find your friends. That will have to be on your own journey.
Well, I'm
But
not leaving without them. So,
but I can offer you this blessing. You will find a way to be able to close these doors, and you will find a way to fix the very beginning of it all. You will have my backing, and you will have my father's backing. And seeing as how far spread this is, as Jesus looks over towards Lucifer, don't make me vocalize this.
do
Come
it.
on, dearie. You have the backing of hell. I and my legions will offer whatever aid we can, though we cannot close these damn doors ourselves. If you can get the job done, then we can make a deal from there. We will not hamper, we will not hinder to the best of our abilities, but the ones that have escaped are not under my control. Thus, if you need to take care of them, you have my blessing. Oh, let me have that tea, please.
She quickly pours Lucifer another cup of tea, puts in a couple sugar cubes.
Miss Betty, I don't know how you do, but this tea is fantastic.
Don't worry, the
Yeah, she-
Winchester brothers are on it.
Shut up.
Yeah, where's Castiel? Anyway. Alright, well, I guess I need to try to venture to find where my friends are.
Before you do, dearie, I can at least give you this idea of where you might be able to find a way to fix all this. And it always starts at the beginning. That pendant of yours there is the same as mine. It's a little key card that lets you into certain places that most facilities don't think to let others in. I can guarantee you'll know what when to use it when you see it. Ah, dear.
All right. Thanks, Grandma. I guess while Puddle and Transient have each other, I should go look for Rowan first. I'm gonna try to find her the way I found you. I guess wish me luck.
You see Black Betty lean down, give you a hug and a kiss on the cheek. That's my granddaughter. Behave and be safe out there, okay?
Well, can't promise that, but I'll try.
And as you stand up and start heading towards the door, you see the Christ stand up, walk over towards you, if I may. You feel him give you a hug. It's almost as warm as the hug from your grandma, if only in a different vibe. It's like a family vibe, but like that of a cousin rather than that of a grandmother. Be safe and fly fast.
All right. You want in on this action, Lucifer?
You see him like give a short like sneer before a tapping of the foot from Black Betty like lets him know that he's still being watched. He gives you one of those like awkward side hugs, and when the other two look at him as though it's not enough, he gives you like a quick peck on the top of the head. All right, now get on, kid.
Oh my god.
I just bullied Lucifer. But okay, Dahlia squares her shoulders, steps out the front door, closes it behind her, and then starts teleporting, focusing on what she knows of Rowan.
And as you're teleporting, zipping through, the channel flicks over back to this grand hall in a dark area. Blood smears seem to pool up in front of it as two bodies are slowly brought out from this blood pool. Will the transient, you find yourselves pulled up into the world of Niflheim, staring just towards a very regal looking building. You see a couple of corpses walk up to you and offer what seems to be rags of warmth, as well as cups that should be filled with drinkable liquid, but are not. Lady Helm is waiting for you inside. Please take these with you.
How do we look in this realm?
Your forms would have taken a more solidified uh, feel. Your normal watery and icy vibe take on a more structured form. The water now seems to be inside the ice form as you're able to stand on your own two legs, Wilda, if you so choose, as you're still being carried by the almost fully Schrodinger version of transients.
Give me a second. I gotta jump to the chat.
While you're doing that, we'll take this short opportunity to hit hit our dear listeners with a slew of hashtags. Where do I even start? Hashtag unconscious relic. Hashtag forcibly unconscious. Hashtag until we meet in Niflheim. Hashtag Marvel Comics relationships are canon. Hashtag I am the swarm. Hashtag you too. Hashtag Loki demoted from Odin's brothers to son. Hashtag please tell me he's slept near his mother. Hashtag I think he means Modi and Magni. Hashtag in a handbasket. Hashtag exploding eggs from metal birds. Hashtag where are the cats? Hashtag Sheila attacks. Hashtag where are the attack cats? Hashtag found the very bitey cats. Hashtag let's not think about the fact our Dolly is the anomaly, and that is most of the known universe. She is predestined towards evil. Hashtag when gods are bored. Hashtag the big squeeze. Hashtag the big enchilada in the sky. Hashtag Jesus Christ. It's Jesus Christ. Hashtag solicitation knocks at death's door. Hashtag regal no more. You got rickrolled. Hashtag yes, that belongs in hashtags. Hashtag accept Dolly as a demigod. Hashtag woman. Hashtag station said calmly. Hashtag don't you dare. Hashtag don't you fucking dare. Hashtag Dolly is a child, not a woman. Hashtag lies gains conceptual weight. Hashtag we split the party. Fuck. Hashtag Lucifer, the beautiful lie. Hashtag cruising on down Main Street. Hashtag Jesus wants a hug. Hashtag Jesus takes the wheel. Lord help me.
You're, I'll look up. I'll put on the robe because, of course, I have a more solid form. Say, your ears are showing.
Ah, shit. uh, I have no idea why.
I look behind him. Does he have a tail?
He does.
Also a tail.
Huh. What did that? Wait, why am I shadowy and black now? I have so many questions.
I don't have answers.
No, but Lady Hell might, if you would step so kindly this way. As they point towards the regal building in front of you, doors slowly creaking open.
Transin will go ahead and take Wilder's arm. He will link arms with Wilder and start moving towards the door.
She will go with him.
As you two enter into the building, the sounds of soft cry, uh, a couple of pain shouts seem to echo in the distance around you before becoming muted once you pass the threshold. Inside the building seems to be a regal array of decrepit decor. You find yourself walking past a couple halls before the hall itself seems to open up to a dining area, one would say. A half stable dining table is met before you. Half the table broken off, the other still holding up. Multiple seats and various arrays of holding or state of being are scattered all about. And at the very end of the table that's still standing and still has what seems to be some food on top of it sits a woman. She looks very lovely for a few seconds, but as soon as you start taking a few steps closer, her face whittles away into that of a skull. And as a few more steps take closer, you see the flesh return back. It seems to be constantly shifting from alive to absolute death. Welcome to my halls, dear children. And to you, great, 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 great grandniece of mine. I would give the full grandeur there, but there's been too many millennia between myself and you that it would be rather boring.
I understand. As there's been a lot of time between the time of myths and the modern age.
I see. Now please, sit, join me for a meal, as is the accord to the laws of hospitality. I should at least give you my blessing and protection, but I can only do so by offering something, which for now is a meager meal. A few pheasants were caught, fried. We were able to bake some okra into something edible, and if I recall your current time frame, your people seem to enjoy corn a lot. So it's much more harder to get corn on this side than expected, but we managed. The food around you, while being enough to fill both of you, is still kind of, if one would say, it looks and appears a bit rough, even with being cooked, but as soon as you sink your teeth into it, it tastes as wonderful as a home cooked meal.
It's lovely, thank you. I imagine
thank you for
Transient's tail is going back and forth.
Yeah. You watch him, you watch him almost, lick his lips.
Please don't be afraid to eat as well, young man. You're her guest as well as mine. The invitation extends to you. As you two approach and take a seat to start eating, or have already started eating, you see a couple of felines pop up from behind her. Oh, what are Grandma's pets doing here? Hungry as well. You see her take some meat off of her bird and feed the two cats. Oh, that's enjoyable. I'll be with you here shortly. Now then, to what does the granddaughter of Fenrir have business here?
We were. She looks over to Transient. We were pushed out of our bodies, trying to seal rifts. I didn't have a good reaction to it.
I'm sorry to hear that. Seems you haven't fully awakened your side yet. Might be able to help you with that endeavor. Though, does grow curious, what sent you through here? Was not the rift itself, was it?
No. Wilda's gonna tilt her head though. Kind of that same way that puppies do.
She recognizes the curiosity in that. Forgive. I don't get much news here, especially from anyone else. I have to make do with who actually is accepted, who gets accepted into my realm. Most of them are too busy with their sorrows. The few that do let me know that the modern times do seem to have different cares, a different god now, and even then, there's only so much that can be enjoyed. Though I do like some of the music now. How about you, young cat man? Is the food okay?
It is quite delicious. Thank you for your hospitality.
Of course. And would you happen to know what exactly sent you into this realm?
Failed ritual, unfortunately.
Hmm.
It was a
Yeah.
ritual to try to seal one of the rifts that appeared on Earth. Unfortunately, with Wilda's reaction to it, I broke the ritual.
Ah, love. The double-edged sword, is it not?
Wilda's ears will go flat and her tail will go down.
Oh, don't take it like that, my dear. I do not mean it in an offense. But you said, but it was a rift you tried to close, and the rift itself did not close. The ritual failed, but most rituals normally just peter out, the energy going elsewhere. I take it that's not what happened.
I am unsure after the ritual broke where the energy might have gone.
What
It,
happened then?
uh, it could have simply dispersed, taking what energy we've already fed into it. Or it might have enhanced the rift. It wasn't the ritual that pushed us here.
Hmm. Oh, so it was not the rift, it was not the ritual. What sent you into the spirit? What sent you here into the spirit tides to grant me a fortunate visit with my dear great amount of grannies?
An interloper from another universe, another me.
She pauses as she looks at you. Another you. Forgive me for not being able to entertain that idea, but to hear about another you, there's only one that seems to have been noted on this side. And if it's not truth, then I can only imagine what madness may be doing.
After I appeared, I don't remember much, if anything at all.
Hmm. That would come with his territory. If I may pull your ears for a time. She goes on to tell a tale of a different transient, a different reality where instead of technology going up, alchemy fully became the full set. But this transient never met a Wilda. This transient never met any of his allies or friends. Rather, he kept running into situations that would twist in themselves: betrayal, deception, lies. At some point, all of it became too much for him to bear. The reality of being left alone. Then he stumbled upon a crux in the alchemy, something that turned a lie to a reality, something that turned alchemy into magics. That realm was responsible for a portion of Niflheim's new abundance, one would say. I mostly get the refuse, and when I stopped being worshipped, we just started getting refuse from other existences, but not in that manner. Uh, quickness. In the same vein that the rift had opened up in your world, we started noticing some strange oddities on mine. One particular rift at the very edge of Niflheim seems to still persist and remain open. I'm still trying to look into what that is occurring so we can find a way to close it ourselves. I'd rather not prattle on with Father or his family's aid. But if it's already reaching the material plane and allowing madness to have escaped his dead end, then I fear that the greater end might be approaching much more faster than anticipated. Young child, as she looks over towards Wilda, but before she can continue, there's a light rapping at a nearby door that appears. Odd. Thade, who is it that approaches here? The door opens slowly as a familiar looking face peers through. It's just me, my dear. I was hoping this. I was told that there was two more interlopers that have crossed into the spirit realm, and oh, you have guests. As Loki steps out from behind the newly appeared door and steps through, the door closes and then fades into the wall, looking as though it was never there in the first place. Child of Truth, it is good to see you again, and you've got a little something on top of your. He points towards your cat ears.
They will flick a little bit and then go flat.
My apologies. I came in good tidings. I came in good tidings. I just wanted to see who was visiting here and see both of you, uh, Jace's friends. It's good, especially you, Truth. We seem to have an understanding of what is causing most of the rifts to occur, though pinpointing the actual source has been a bit difficult. If I may take a seat, and he sits on the table. Pray tell, Father, what has occurred? It seems that these rifts are being made by an individual, though who I do not know. What's more terrifying is this individual seems to have a connection to one of the concepts, the concept I was not planning to ever encounter or meet, and I still plan on not encountering or meeting. So forgive the lack of there. But it seems this concept is allowing her to end the walls that separate realities and pass through. They happen to choose one particular wall that should have not been broken. Upon that wall breaking, more of these rifts were being created, and are stemming exactly from that grand rift, the one that truth has shown all of us. You recall? Loki does wait for an answer from both of you.
Wasn't sure who he's talking to.
I was trying to make sure that he didn't overcome him.
Oh no, I do not plan to try to step too far. Unlike Thor, I try not to be as brutish. It's, it's more fun to go around the rules, but there's no around on this one. Unfortunately, I'm at my own wit's end, and we've been talking with our father Odin, and he never knows where the start begins. But we did get a glimpse of a possible, or at least the who that's connected to the what that's allowing all this to occur. We know the what, we don't know the who. Forgive the confusion there. It gets a little confusing when trying to recall everything. Something about the facades makes one forget. That's the painful thing.
Wilt is gonna start putting her hand in front of Ed.
In front of who?
In
Oh,
front of Edward.
right. My brain. The table is like short enough to allow you guys to reach over and grab each other's hands. So if
Oh, I'm
Edward
not
does,
grabbing his hand. I'm protecting him.
okay.
Yeah, we'd be sitting on the same side of the table.
Yeah. No, I'm
Ah,
moving to protect him because if they know who is doing it, the who looks like him.
no. The oh, let me rephrase this. No, do not worry. I am not speaking of madness, although seeing him out in the material plane is frightful enough. No, I'm talking about the one that started this, as he shows the very center of the multiverse and the very crack that you guys saw initially back in the wedding. The crack has gone far larger and splitting off into multiple directions. In possibly the past century out here in this area, we were able to finally capture one visage of a being. He seems to point at the southwestern of the picture and then start blowing it up in his like magical field. Essentially, like zooming in and enhancing. But all you see is somewhat of a silhouette of a long-haired being. Uh, whatever clothing they seem to wear seems to be long enough to go up to their hands and up to the legs, but any other detail is almost impossible to see. What can be visible is a very large needle beak, almost lizard-like being behind her. That may be the person causing all of this, and that would be the concept tool she's using. One I don't want any of my family going near, which I have to ask, why do you seem so familiar as he looks back over towards the icy form of Wilda? To which Hell speaks up, that, my dear father, is the great, please cut it. Cut to the finer detail. Granddaughter of Fenrir. Oh, You see his head swivel from hell to Wilda, to hell to Wilda, to hell to Wilda, to the figure on the screen. You're muted there.
Yes, that means that we're related.
Oh, well, my sincerest apologies, granddaughter. Is it granddaughter at this point?
It's
I
great granddaughter. It's many, many, many great granddaughters. Yep.
well, welcome to the family. What a terrible way to start this conversation by showing you the presumed end of all reality as we know it. Oh, shit. Right, where was I getting at? Oh, yes, the concept here. This particular being is one of the first concepts to have ever existed. Essentially, the sister to creation. That is obliteration, capable of ending pretty much anything it bites, cuts, tears through, no longer exists. And right now, she's using it to tear pieces out of the very end of reality that separates us from the great observing destroyer.
DM,
Yes,
have I seen this creature before?
you? No.
Talking about Wilda.
Yeah, you as in Wilda? No. You have
Okay.
not seen this creature before.
One of the magical cats just meowed at me.
Oh goodness.
Yep.
How did how did Nano's cats get up here?
Down. Down.
Get down here. Yes, down, up. Direction is a relative term, my dear great granddaughter.
No. Above board.
Actual.
No. Above board. No. It is up and down.
Fine, fair. How did they get down here? Do either of you two know?
No.
Weren't
Loki will
they
look over
already here?
the two cats. Normally they guard our mother Freya. Normally. So that brings the question, why are they here and not by her side? Hell, who had been distracting herself by feeding the cats and speaking to them, will look up. Seems that another one of these rifts has opened up, pulling them in while Mother Freya was being assaulted. I know it's short notice. Pray tell, can I ask you two a favor? She turns towards and transient, asking this.
How can we
Sorry,
help?
player didn't catch it.
That's why I'm putting that statement out there. But yes, Hell does turn to you two and ask if she can ask a favor.
Long as it doesn't harm Wilda.
So long as the food is still within you and I have not received it, you will have my protection and blessing. Such as the rules of law, such as the law of hospitality. That much I can do. Normally, we would expect a small offering or a trinket to be returned back in law of hospitalities, but services are another thing that can be accepted. Do this small favor, and we will see that the laws of hospitality have been kept accord, furthering the protection and the blessing. If you would guide these two cats back over to Mother Freya when we're done with our conversation, of course, that would be much appreciated. I'm sure my father here would be able to guide you. I mean, I was speaking with my father on the, but you know what? Sure, I will do that for you, my dear Hell. No need to glare at me with those empty eyes. Please stop glaring at me with those empty eyes, please. Right. Uh, but yes, that is something that we were able to pick up. I have not seen a Toph from the Egyptian side, nor have I been able to reach out to Zeus and his pantheon. I'm sure that once we have moments back in the material plane, we can make a short meeting back at your hometown and be able to have a further discussion about this.
Maybe. I would be interested in possibly finding a way to close the rifts easier, even if it means activating a new set of powers.
Might be, well, should be easy. Should be a way to do so, but honestly, I wasn't even sure how to close the rifts myself. Pray tell, Truth's Scion, did you happen to find out how to close them? They were speaking of closing a rift with a ritual, if they would like to continue that indulgence.
It's a
Yes, I
ritual
kind of need to
granted
go to bed,
by.
man.
Eh, good night.
Get
Night.
some good rest. We are almost time to wrap this up, but we'll finish this line of dialogue and then we'll call it.
We do have a ritual given to us by Truth. It should work if we have the energy to do so.
It just didn't work with me because I don't know. I don't know why it didn't work.
What did the ritual entail, pray tell?
Taking the life energy of those who are part of it and weaving it into effectively a seal or a cross weave to close the rift.
What, like sewing a stitch in time, space?
Time, space, dimensional act effectively.
Hmm. I might be able to send some feelers out. We can pick this back up once we're in the material plane, as I'm not quite sure who I can speak to about you finding such threads, or maybe even finding a possible needle to work with.
I think part of the reason why it failed is it didn't take into consideration Wilda's divine nature. Okay.
We didn't know.
Hmm. Well, what we can do before we find a way to take you back, send you back home, back to your dimension, your reality, your bodies, is possibly have you commit through one of our personal trials for those who do inherit the divine spark passed down from Odin and forward. Once you deliver the cats to Freya, ask her about the trials, if you would. Say that it would be considered a favor from her mischievous son, a mischievous adopted son. I should probably say that, and hopefully she might be able to help. But for now, seeing as you all are done eating and enjoying the
Um,
time, well, yes,
would something similar need to happen to Jace and possibly Dahlia? Because
hmm,
Jace is Zeus's offspring and Dahlia is related to Black Betty.
the Black Betty.
Yeah, granddaughter of Black Betty to be exact.
Where did your Black
Jesus,
Betty to have descendants? She's been
Jesus, of
around.
course,
Go ahead.
descendant of Zeus.
Yeah,
Grandson, to be exact.
Oh, well, unless he happens to be the exact child of Hera as well. I mean, that would only make him a demigod. But if well, there is that one incident where Hera. Hmm. Once more, I will need to send out feelers, and we can discuss this back in the material plane.
well, if I give information now, that gives you better feelers.
It does, and I do thank you, my dear granddaughter. I'm not gonna get used to saying that. I'm not. I'm not. I feel just as irked as you are. Well, now then, let's go visit great grandma. Oh, that feels even weirder. Let's go visit Fredo, shall we? Come, little
Yeah,
kids.
wait until I have to tell my parents.
You'll probably have an easier time. It's not like you're dealing with someone who's able to see past, present, and future, and then disputes everything you do a with a iron iron will. I can't even get father to even entertain an idea without him promptly telling me it's going to backfire in my face. All because I happened to shoot one bad stone into one eye.
So he didn't lose his eye for runes and magic?
What? No, the one eye happens to be one of our main guardsmen, and uh, Bad Stone is the name of his particular javelin. It was a fun battle at that point, but certain wounds don't exactly heal if you're using holy objects.
And you're telling me Odin is hmm.
No, he's clarifying that the one eye was the name of a guardsman that he happens to
No,
hit
I
in
know
the
that.
face.
That's not what Transient's acting.
All right,
And Odin is what's the word I am looking for? Encroaching? I believe it's encroaching on the vision of the Norns as he's side-eyeing Wilda.
That's a question for my dad.
I may have to double check that. He did say he was up to something, but once more, he never specified. Anyway, he points over towards one of the walls behind Hell as it turns into a door. Be safe, my dear grandniece.
I'm gonna
No,
go
you
give
still
her a
have my
hug.
blessing. Oh, she freezes at first, was not expecting a hug, before she gently wraps her bony then fleshy arms around you, trying to give you as good of a hug as she could.
I try not
Transient
to
is there.
bite one of her arms because it's bone.
That's fair.
Edward is keeping a close eye on Loki.
You do see some odd looks as he seems unsure of how things are going. whether it be his own report to you about how the initial break seems to be getting bigger versus having to bring Freya's cats back to her as they leer at him.
Also, basically, her seeing Loki not even hug his own daughter is the reason why she's giving her a hug.
Now that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
As a note, Loki now has 3 cats watching him.
And as you guys step up alongside the cats behind Loki and he opens the door, we will end it there for this session. We'd like to thank everyone who joined us for this tepid moments as we have different bodies going through different sections of reality, non-reality, spirit realm. And we hope to bring them all back next session, somehow, some way, in a more cordial manner. I want to thank you all for joining us here and hope you all have a wonderful day. Till next time.
Hey!